Leader and two members of a Brooklyn-based gang called the Real Right Gang have each been sentenced to more than a decade in prison. They are pictured here. Samaj Smith, also known as Bam Bam, and Real Right Sport was sentenced to 132 months in prison for racketeering, conspiracy, and brandishing a gun in furtherance of a crime of violence. We're told the leader of the gang, Dejan McBean, or Jeezy Moolah, and member Mark Waiters, also known as Telly, were also sentenced to 150 months and 149 months, respectively, last month. We're told members of the Real Right Gang have committed murder, assault, bank fraud, wire fraud, and more between 2015 and 2018.
What's good, y'all? What's the Numbers TV? It's your boy Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers are providing. Today we back with another profile piece.
This one is an updated profile piece on the S. murder that Mook was charged with, the Real Right versus Bread Gang beef, and also the current situation of Jeezy Moolah and Star Brim.
Real Right started to make a name for themselves around 2012-2013 thanks to Jeezy Moolah, one of the main faces of the crew, who many assume is the leader of the Real Rights. Moolah is known to drive some of the latest and most expensive cars around the streets of Brooklyn while wearing jewelry valued in the hundreds of thousands. But Jeezy Moolah wasn't the only Real Right member living good. Other standout members of the crew were Cody, Rico, S. Capo, Sport, Ty Mars, and Splashy, just to name a few. Scamming is done all over the world, but not too many places do it like Brooklyn. Some people scam for items to sell and make money off of, but the new wave of scammers use it to fund their lifestyle and live every day like a rap video, where one lit piece a day can keep the party going. Real Right had their fair share of beef with other scamming crews and gangs throughout the years. One was with Rich Mafia, who was another alleged scamming crew out of Brooklyn that was on the scene in New York City about a year before the Real Right crew started to get noticed. The federal authorities also say that starting in 2012, the Real Rights began beefing with a rival set of 5'9" Brims that were also a part of another alleged Brooklyn scamming crew called Bread Gang. Now, I couldn't tell you everything that happened between the two crews, but in October of 2015, Bread Gang Melly was shot and killed while sitting in his car in East Flatbush. No one was ever arrested for the shooting of Melly, and his murder is still unsolved till today. About 2 months later, in December of 2015, Real Right S. would meet a similar fate when he was shot and killed while sitting in his car at the time. No one was arrested, even though rumors in the streets began to circulate about the Real Right versus Bread Gang beef. Some say it was Bread Gang and Melly's close relationship with another Brooklyn crew, SP&B, that really started the beef between the two crews. For a few years after the shooting and murders of Melly and S. the two crews continued on doing what they do, rapping, scamming, members on East Side going to jail for years at a time. Jeezy Moolah is a perfect example, as he'd been back to jail a few times since 2015, but always comes home not missing a beat, for a few months just to find himself back in jail every time. But in February of 2020, an indictment dropped charging 11 members of the 5'9" Brims with a bunch of crimes. The one that stood out to me was Marvin Pippin, aka Mook, the brother of Bread Gang Melly, was charged with killing S. in a war the two crews were engaged in. The indictment said that Real Right was jacking 5'9" Brim also, but beefing with members of the same gang but a different set. Some of the 5'9s they were feuding with also read Bread Gang. This was the same indictment Star Brim was involved in. They call her the godmother and highest ranking female blood in New York.
Then, in July 2020, Jeezy Moolah, who was already in jail on a different charge, along with Real Right Sport and Real Right Telly, will be indicted on charges of conspiring to commit murder and aid of their racketeering enterprise, attempted murder, and assault in aid of racketeering, and also using firearms in the furtherance of the attempted murder and assault. So now you have members of Bread Gang and Real Right all in the feds waiting to get their charges resolved in the court system, and the first up to bat was Muck, who in April of 2023 went to trial for killing S. in Brooklyn on the shooting, and after a 12-day trial, he was found guilty and faces life in prison, although he hasn't been sentenced yet. Then, in October of 2023, Jeezy Moolah, Real Right Sport, and Real Right Telly will all plead guilty on their charges in a federal courtroom. The next person to learn their fate in this whole situation was Star Brim, who after pleading guilty to her charges was sentenced to a year and a day in March of 2024 and given a surrender date in September of 2024 after a judge granted her an extension to be able to take her son to his first day of kindergarten. Then, in June of 2024, was Real Right's turn to be sentenced, With Real Right Sport receiving 132 months in the feds for his crimes, Jeezy Moolah and Real Right Telly both received terms of 150 and 149 months respectively. And with that, this chapter in the Bread Gang vs. Real Right war has officially came to a close, with certain members in jail, certain members done passed away, certain members done turned state's evidence. And this is what comes from a lot of these situations in the street. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to happen. People are going to fall. Some people are going to go bad. Some people are going to pass away. It's regular actions when you're dealing in the streets. So, rest in peace to everybody that lost their life. Hopefully people come home and can start being on a more positive note. And on that, we're going to end this profile piece. It's What's Numbers TV. This is an updated profile piece. This is what we do out here at What's Numbers TV, man. We out here. We talk about these real situations, these real topics. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go follow the Instagram. Follow my partner, Batty Bills, on Instagram. Follow the live streaming clips channel. Any business, any promo, Poro, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. And on that note, I'm out of here, man. What's Numbers TV? Your boy, Poro. Peace.